Welcome to today's devotions. This week we're talking about characteristics, traits of God's voice. What God's voice will taste like, if you will, in our lives. And yesterday we talked about the fact that God's voice will always be kind. And today we're going to talk about another important characteristic of God's voice, and that is God's voice is consistent. You see, God is not inconsistent. God is not confused. The Bible tells us that God is the Lord, He changes not. And in Hebrews 13 verse 8, it says, Jesus Christ is the same yesterday and today and forever. So one of the things we need to know about God is consistent. When we look at the life of Jesus and how He treated people, is exactly how He still treats people today, because He doesn't change. So when we see Jesus healing people and healing all who were oppressed by the devil who came to Him, He will still do that today. He's not inconsistent and He's always the same. Now, I'm not saying that we don't have different seasons in life, and God will certainly lead us into new seasons and into new things when it's His will to do so. But I've also seen people, Christians say, God told me to do this today, tomorrow it's something completely different, and then the day after that it's something different again. And usually, it makes God sound very confusing. And we need to know God is consistent. God is not going to ask you to start a business, and right after you started the business, He tells you to go and plant a church and to become a pastor. Again, seasons might change in our lives, but God is also consistent. And sometimes if we feel what we're doing is not right, it might be that we missed God previously and now we're hearing Him. But we need to know God is not confused. He's not going to change His mind, and He's very consistent. And I don't know about you, but for me that is comforting. It's amazing for me to know God is not a mystery. We can know what we can expect from Him. When we look at the life of Jesus, we see the character of God. We see how he spoke to people, how He helped people, how He ministered to people, and He never changes. He's still the same Jesus, and His guidance will also be consistent in life. Now, I'm not saying everything God will tell us to do will always be comfortable. We see in the lives of the disciples, they certainly didn't live comfortable lives. They got persecuted and had a lot of challenges. And when we do the right thing, we'll also face opposition and persecution in life. But God is not confused. God is consistent. His nature is consistent, and therefore His guidance will also be consistent. So when you receive a prophecy, you can also ask yourself, is this consistent with what I'm sensing in my heart? Is this consistent with what I believe God has told me I'm called to do in life? It helps us to discern whether it's God or not. And I think this is such an important thing for us to know that one of the main characteristics of God's nature and guidance is it's consistent, because Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. I hope that encourages you today, and remember, you are highly favored and deeply loved.